Hello, Taurus North Node. Welcome to your reading for May 2022. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist. This is a general reading. So the messages may not resonate with everybody. If something does not seem to apply to you, just let it go and let it be real and valid for whoever else in your Taurus North Node family needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this video, give it a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. So this is a North Node reading. It doesn't apply to any other major signs. If you are not sure where your North Node is, it is a mathematical point in your birth chart that you can identify in two ways that I have provided for you in the description box below. The first one is my website where there is a North Node chart. It has all of the date ranges and placements of the North Nodes in those ranges for I think the last 100 years or so. So you can look it up there. Or you can run your birth chart. I have put a link to where you can do that for free. And what else have I put in the description box for you? Oh, I have put a short video, info video, how the North Node has been described to me by my spirit guides. And I've also linked YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse and his detailed description of what it means to have your North Node in Scorpio. So all of that is provided for you below. With that, I will start your reading. And what else? There was something else. Oh, well, maybe it'll come back to me. Oh, yes. All the decks that I'm using are listed below in the description box. They are affiliate links. I think all of them except for one of the decks is affiliate linked. So you can check that out if you are so inclined. We will start with your universal energies, the highest frequencies that are being amplified for you specifically, to aid in your soul expansion. And for that, I will use the Return of Spirit deck by Stacey DeMarco. Not Stacey DeMarco, sorry. Cheryl Lee Harnish. My bad. But I have Stacey DeMarco's deck at the end, Oracle deck. One of them. So, something feels off. Hold on. Okay, that was odd because this candle I did a reading just before and I figured, okay, I'm not going to use that candle anymore because it's pretty much finished, but they still want it. It was just like, yeah, a glaring kind of void. So, and even the cards felt like sticky. Sorry for this. I need to replace my stool. It's totally squeaky. Taurus North Node, Taurus North Node. Rejuvenation is the first card. Power. Birthing, caretaker, and gifted. So, what does the universe have on offer for you? Everything is always on offer. This is just what's highlighted for your benefit. I have to send greetings to the Earth Council, who has decided to be present. I mean, they're usually, well, always present and are partially the reason why I even started doing North Node readings in the first place, but they've been louder since the eclipse. And as I said, and I am running a bit behind, so you, on one hand, okay, I'm a couple days late. On the other hand, the Earth Council has shown up for your reading. So, and with more weight behind them, with more influence into the reading. So you do get a bit of, there's a positive to every challenge. Let's call it that. So what is the message here? Rejuvenation. Oh, so you're being revitalized at this time. If any situation, when we go deeper, we'll see some of the more, let's say, grounded situations. But in any case, any type of energy depletion is going to be rectified at this time so that you get a full rejuvenation of your energies, things that you may even feel were like long forgotten. And some of this is going to come up nice and surprising in a very good way. Like I see even people maybe being in this group, maybe being drawn to tears because they reconnect with a love. And when I say a love, it's like not necessarily a person. It's a lifestyle, a way of being, reconnecting with a way of being that brought them a lot of joy and a feeling of wholeness. Stepping into your power, solar plexus chakra, I see. And all of this on this side has a lot of yellow and gold. So there's a lot going on with your solar plexus chakra and you taking charge. Birthing and caretaker. If you are looking to, so this can be literal or figurative. If you are giving birth or want to have a child, there's a lot of energy for that. For that to happen. There's also with the gifted card here, there's also the potential for you to birth a way of being, a product, a service, something divinely inspired into the earthly realm, and you will, and that being a long-standing project or something that sustains you. You're designated the caretaker of it. So it's just like having a child. Like you don't just have a child and then have another, well, maybe you do have another one, but you don't forget about the first one when you have another one, right? So caretaker, what you're birthing into form in May is something that you're meant to care for like its lifespan, a long period of its lifespan. So you also would want to be sure that what you are allowing to be birthed through you is something that you want to stick with, maintain, sustain throughout its life cycle, or at least a big phase of its life. Gifted, you are meant to do what this is, and you're also meant to really embrace what your gifts are. And I'm getting for some of you, it's a psychic gift. For some of you, we all have those abilities. They come to being or come into our awareness at different times and with different intensities. So if you say, oh, I don't know, like I don't have any of the clairs, I don't hear anything, I don't see anything, my intuition is pretty bleh. Don't worry. This is also a time when you will get to learn how your intuition specifically speaks to you and how your gifts specifically are tailored, are meant to come through you. Like it's meant to come through you in that way. It's about you not comparing yourself to anybody else and knowing that the way that it's been given to you is your power, and you amplify that by allowing it to be exactly how it has been given to you, right? As once you acknowledge how it's been given to you, because they're showing me like this thing in here, which also has the yellowy gold colors. Once you acknowledge what its basic form is, then you can expand it. But as long as you're trying to change this or don't have a clear picture of what this is, then the expansion won't happen. And I have a feeling that why you need rejuvenation and power at this time, but specifically the rejuvenation phase or energy, is because you may have spent a lot of time trying to change what the basic structure is of your gifts, or pretending that you have gifts that, not that you don't have, but you've wanted it you wanted it to look a certain way or fit into a certain package for so long that it's depleted parts of your aura. And it could be showing up as physical ailments and mood instabilities. They're telling me also food addiction. But anyway, I'll throw that out there if it resonates with you. And taking on, let's say, a character that doesn't necessarily belong to you. So the rejuvenation, they're showing me the water is also about clearing out anything from around this gift that does not belong there, and that's actually inhibiting its growth. Let's go to the next set. 5D is your higher self, who's very aware of all of these wonderful, auspicious conditions that have been arranged for it and wants to communicate with you as to what you need to focus on in your vibration, in your etheric bodies. In the landscape that is you, that to make the best use of these opportunities, of these energies. For that, I am using the Sacred Geometry of Relationships and the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. It's a lot of words. Cosmic Flower is your first card. So I blended both of those decks into one big stack. This is the first time as well that when I do the mirror sign, so like you Scorpio and Taurus are on the same spectrum, polarity, and are the mirrors, I say. They usually would have similar cards in the universal, all over. But lately, or at least for this month's reading, some of them have been just quite different. There's been like the most differences that I've ever experienced since I've started doing these readings. So that being said, in your first universal cards, you have nothing in common with your mirror sign, which is Scorpio. North Node. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Emergence. So, sorry, Expression came out, which Scorpio did have. Yes. Emergence, Alchemy. So if you need to fast forward at any time, do feel free. Sorry. But otherwise, we'll be here for about an hour. maybe 50 minutes to an hour. I feel like there's one more in here, so I'm just gonna, there we go. Oh, yeah. So you have cosmic flower, expression, emergence, alchemy, intimacy, third eye chakra, and perception. Cosmic flower, yeah, there's some blossoming to be done. There's also, cosmic flower also talks about remembering where you're from. So I'm getting, and this was, so there is a similarity across all of the readings, and I've been saying it in most of them, that we think of expansion as something looking outside of ourselves. But in this case, at this time, and probably for I don't know how many years to come, the focus is inward. To expand, it's time to look with it. To expand, one has to look within. The key to the expansion is looking within. I am trying to get the words right, but they're also discussing how to say it. Okay, but you get the point. Right? And the expression of that in the world is important. On the card emergence, I also have a keyword poking out at me that says childlike. I'm really feeling that for a lot of us, and for you specifically in this reading, Taurus North Node, that connecting to something that was very important to you in childhood. So your gift has been with you since childhood, and it's something that you may have not put a lot of effort or energy into because, I don't know, either you were discouraged or it didn't seem like a career could come from that because we're so concerned with being productive citizens. And even if we're not concerned, the world is pushing us to be, or has pushed us to be concerned about it, through judgment and critiques and things like this. And I also get this feeling that you've become bored with life, or some of you have become bored with life. Because there's been this disconnect from your feeling of wonderment and the feeling that anything is new. So routine may be bogging you down energetically. And before anyone jumps to any judgments about that, allow me to go to alchemy. The magic you hold inside can essentially change any situation. The true alchemist in you. Now that may be your gift, right? Because they're not telling me right now what the gift is. It's different for all of you, although they're telling me that there's a similar underlying current, which we'll get to, because before I do your final oracles, I'm going to look at what your soul's purpose is. There's a knowledge inside you that needs to come to the surface. Some of it is innate knowledge. Some of it is from past lives, but there's something that's in you that needs to come, that needs to be utilized. And I feel that you know exactly what it is. It's not like in this, like as soon as the rejuvenation, as soon as the first cards came out, it's like you knew instinctively exactly what they were talking about. Even if it was just a flash of a memory. It's so a part of what you're here to do that it's impossible for you to completely forget it as much as you have shoved it aside. And they're telling me that even for some of you who are already on that path of, you've already made life changes, you already said, I'm going to get more aligned with my higher purpose, and you're making those steps, there's still a little seed of something down here that is a gift, a natural gift for you that you need to appreciate for the fullness of what it is. Because it's a transformative gift. Intimacy, I'm getting that some of you don't allow this out because your relationships don't have room for it, or you don't feel that your relationships have room for it. You feel that people may think you're strange, especially if this is a metaphysical, spiritual, psychic type of gift, or if it's just way out of this world innovative, like you're thinking way ahead of your time. Ooh, I'm also getting that some of you, that is it. You see things well, like you have a visionary quality to you, where all of your ideas seem very off the wall. But there's a reason why you get those. And we'll get to the third eye and perception. If you are getting visions and you always think that they're crazy, off the wall, out of this world, unrealistic. So all of those things that I said are adjectives that could be positive or negative. So notice the neutrality of it. And that is kind of what this perception card is saying. Out of this world, out of the box, off the wall, could be negative, as in, why don't you think of things that are more realistic? It would also be positive, like, wow, that's so innovative. I never looked at it in that way. And it's time for you to start seeing your visions with new eyes. It's time for you to feel empowered by what shows up in your third eye chakra. Because notice that your third eye chakra and the gifted card are both in this color range of soul, and the expression and the emergence card are also in this color range. It's something that needs to be. So it's like you've always had it, but you've just allowed people to talk you out of it, or life to train you out of it. And they want you to know it's not that you've done anything wrong. It's almost like being in a situation where it's been denied over and over again. Once you decide that you are going to embrace it, let it emerge, and let it be expressed into the world, you will have that much more dedication and confidence in it. Because you've already dealt with naysayers and what it means to not, and the feeling of what it means to not follow that impetus. I wanted to go back to intimacy for a second. So once again, if you want a child, like to give birth to a child, or you're about to give birth to a child, this is an auspicious corner for you here. If you have a off-the-wall idea that you really feel can be something and you want to birth that into form, know that you are safe, and there is a whole divine team supporting you, even if in the 3D reality you are kind of a lone ranger on that. They know that it's difficult to go forward being the only one who believes in your vision. But they say if you allow them to support you, they will send you the support that you need. And also in the form of the right people who believe in your vision at the right time. So I'm going to check what's going on in your 3D reality, your physical reality, situations that are arising in the month of May as opportunities for your soul's expansion. So they want me to say to you, Taurus North Node, as this deck is like super sticky, and so I know that they don't want me to move forward yet. As a Taurus North Node, you are being called towards a very grounded, comfortable existence. This is what your soul wants to experience: earthly pleasures, physical abundance, monetary wealth. That's what it wants to not be a rolling stone, right? Which is Scorpio energy is much more, water, free flowing, artistic, very much in the head and the heart, of course, but this, and I'm getting that there is that energy in you. There may be, so while there may be people, situations, circumstances around you that force you to, let's say, not be so much in your imagination, you are meant to have a balance between your imagination and, like, your imagination is meant to bring something into the earthly plane so that you can have all of that physical abundance experience that and comforts that a Taurus North Node soul is seeking. I'm going really long on these ones today. Sorry, it's just I'm usually already at a certain point by half an hour. So we have the Empress in reverse. And I'm getting the impression that it's just the one card in the middle, but we'll see. Because that's how I just saw it as I was shuffling. But now I'm feeling like there's another card that wants to come out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do want the 4. No, because this is all the cards they want. So they want the Empress in reverse, Perspective in reverse, and the Star in reverse. So I'm being more flexible with how I lay everything because it's just like, and then we have the Strength card underneath. That's just how the readings have been going. So the Empress, Perspective, and the Star. Yeah. Okay. So you have everything in reverse, which is it's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. Now they want to. I'm just trying to make the buzzing in my face stop, which means that everything is good. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you very much. So with the Empress in reverse, what I am seeing here is that I'm seeing in general with these three cards a lot of reconsidering. Sorry, I have to do this. I hate to keep changing it on you, but they keep that, yeah. There. Okay. Being fluid, being flexible. So, the Empress in reverse. That's where I was at, right? Yes. In the Empress in reverse, I'm seeing frustration. Yeah, I'm seeing frustration. I'm seeing that blockages to your gifts, blockages to your blossoming into the expression of your gifts and the expression of your natural self. So you may be feeling frustrated or blocked, low motivation. Frustration over time usually turns into like complacency, procrastination, pessimism, like just like, apathy, not caring. That's because you can't contain or sustain the energy of frustration and constantly complaining about not being able to do something. At some point, you just, for the sake of your own mental and physical health, your body and your mind will guide you to just like not think about it at all and put a band-aid on it through like addictions, for example, social media addiction, food addiction, could be like social life addictions, because you're not getting the joy of creating, which you definitely need. And this speaks to how the South Node and the North Node work together, right? You don't throw the South Node aside to pursue the North Node. The South Node gives you like something to hold on to, and that supports you to go through to your North Node. And for you, that expression of imagination and your innate gifts is totally necessary. And you need those chances to birth it into form. And you need those things. You need to see them in your life become concrete. So you may have already had hobbies or at some point started a business venture because you so needed to turn someone has a side hustle that is that imaginative thing, trying to like make that into a business that sustains themselves, their community, their family, right? And the perspective in reverse is a lot of self-doubt I'm getting here. What is the perspective card in the traditional deck? I think it's the Hanged Man. Yes, it is. So a lot of doubt in your abilities is showing up. So either they're rearing their ugly head after you think you have already cast them out, banned them from the castle, but they come back because they're hiding in places that you didn't know that they're there. Alternatively, they're being shown to you to show you that you're limiting yourself, because the Star in reverse is also saying like that you're denying something that is very true and apparent to you if you really look into your heart and your soul. And part of the reason you may be doing this is to fit in with your chosen group of people. I don't see a lot about people in here, but only the intimacy card. it's affecting your close relationships, because maybe even I'm getting the impression that some of you have a gift that under your family's religious beliefs is, seen as, like, maybe even you watching tarot videos is like, tarot cards are the devil type of thing, right? So they want you to know that once you fully step into your power, there's nothing that anyone can do about it, because it's meant to be. And you were not given those gifts to sacrifice on the altar of a family or people who are not able to see you and embrace you fully, right? And here is where the Strength card came in. I love when they have discussions that require me to change the way the cards are laid 3 times, but yes. The lion and the lamb. And they're showing me this Bedouin woman here. It looks like, who has this spark in her hand. Not only can she command the lion, but the lion would protect her. And you have to be both your lion and the lamb. So I feel that your emergence of this magical being needs to be protected by you. So you may feel like that your defenses are going to come up and need to come to the forefront, because the more that you emerge and the more that people see that you're emerging, the more that those that are jealous of it, that don't understand it, are going to lash out at you. Yes, we're moving on. We're moving on to how to navigate this 3D situation for your highest good. How can you make the most of these opportunities? And then we're going to do your soul's purpose and the final oracles. So we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot for the tips on how to move through this energy or these situations. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 3 of Cups. I want that one. The Son of Swords, which is, I believe, the Knight of Swords, and it's in reverse. I'll double check if it's the Knight or the Page, because I think all the pages are daughters in this deck. And then we have the Daughter of Swords, whose name I just spoke, in the upright. And then we have the 6 of Wands in reverse. So yes, this has to be the Knight, because the Daughter is the Page. You have to get in touch with what you really want. This is what the 4 of Cups is saying with this lovely rat. Please don't hate rats. Rats are good people. Well, if they were people, but they do very good things. So I know they brought me into that because I guess there's something to say about the rat. Yes. The rat hides, not because it's a shifty character. They hide because humans have such a vile energy towards them. And animals are intimately connected to the earth and energy and feel before anything else. So they run away from people because people have a dangerous energy around them. We act out of fear. We act with little respect for other life forms. We are judgmental. We, we don't see ourselves as part of the oneness, but are connected to our egos and create a whole world and reality around that. So, so rats are like, yeah, I'm going to take my cheese and go into the corner, right? Or go into this dark place where it's cool and safe from these beings. And that is also kind of where you have stuck your intuitive and very special gifts, because you have sensed that it is dangerous. In the past, you have sensed that it is dangerous. That is changing. And that's not to say that there's not still people where it is, let's not call it dangerous, but they'll make it uncomfortable for you. They may make fun of you or belittle your beliefs or your lifestyle or whatever, right? That is irrelevant at this point. Because it's time for you to have more than 4 cups. And I have a feeling that some of you have found a way to kind of use your gifts, but you use it in a very small section of your life or in a very private way, and it needs to open up. So the 4 of Cups is saying, let's shine light in those corners where you have hidden what you feel people, or that it was too risky to show to people because people are poo sometimes. The 3 of Cups. Right after I say people are poo sometimes, it's showing me that, they're going to be, seek out your soul tribe, like-minded friends, people who you could have heart to heart with, and they may not be in your physical fear. Okay, you may have fear of actually meeting people in person or putting yourself out there like that. I'm getting online groups, meetups, places where people are coming into their gifts. It may be like a, Starseed Awakening group, or could be New Witches, or, some type of group where everyone seems to be now stepping into a new way of being, or looking for a sense of belonging now that they're embracing something that they're gifted with. That's where you need to look. And the Sun of Swords, the Knight of Swords in reverse, is telling me that you don't rush anything and thinking that you kind of know. Although you still need to practice your craft. That's coming up in the Daughter of Swords. So there are parts of you, and they're saying like specifically kind of in your ego, in the mask that you wear, that you're going to have to drop. And they will drop kind of naturally, but you should give it a little bit of allowance to drop. And you have to look at how you have embodied some of these opinions and judgments and critiques that people have had of you and your ideas in the past. Those need to be released. You also need to drop protection when you enter into this group and speak your truth and know that it's safe to get close to people. In the Daughter of Swords and the Six of Wands. Yeah. Start practicing using whatever gift this is. Put it into practice, and however it is. If it's dance, then start implementing a conditioning routine in the mornings and the evenings. Or if it's music, start writing and doing vocal exercises. If it's but basically, this is just because you have a gift does not mean that there's not some type of practice or discipline that goes into it. And that's not to put more burden on you, because once you do it, it's going to start to feel very, very natural to you. The Six of... Oh, these aren't wands. These are swords, which makes much more sense, because I was trying to get the Six of Wands energy and it wasn't coming. Six of Swords in reverse. Yay! I have an energy of you don't have to change where you are. You just have to change how you think and how you act. And everything else will kind of move accordingly. However, don't resist the change. And that means people falling away. There's people who are not going to be able to accept you and where you are and where you are going. And that is fine. Accept a leadership role in your life, even if you are afraid of it, because you need to start using your tools. I have also from the Six of Swords in reverse that you should resist the urge to change your mind based on other people's opinions. So, moving right along. This is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, and I'm going to look at your soul's purpose in a broad, kind of overarching theme kind of way so that all of you can get a bit of information about that. So, Taurus North Node. Now, this doesn't mean that it's the sole purpose for every Taurus North Node on the planet. This is obviously, my guides and the Earth Council and all those present know that if you're going to watch this video. So it's for those who have encountered it, right? So, my lovely Taurus North Nodes, this is the information that we are being given on your soul's purpose. And just to give you a bit of information on why certain situations may come about as they may in your life. Five of Swords is telling me that you have a lot of conflicting thoughts. You come in with a lot of conflicting thoughts. So maybe your third eye probably was very open and crown from birth. And you hear a lot of messages and get a lot of intuitive guidance, you receive a lot of information, period, from a lot of sources, which means that sometimes it's difficult for you to settle on a direction, settle on an opinion. And if you pair that with possible people pleasing, it could really send you in. Like, look at how this guy is just like racking his brain. Also, if you have all these ideas and people see you more as scatterbrained than as an inspired being, is frustrating, because you start to believe that there's no benefit that comes from all of that, all of those thoughts and impulses that come through your higher chakras. The Wheel of Fortune is, I get that you see many different, you're able to see a lot of different outcomes. You're able to analyze complexities and see complexities. And this can end up in overthinking, because you can see, oh, if I do this, then this will happen. If I do that, and then if she does this, then that may not happen, and blah, 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 blah. And, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, you are able to, this is also, they're telling me relates to your alchemy card here. You are able to see many different timelines, which means that you are able to choose and direct traffic if need be. The World in reverse, though, tells me that people don't always appreciate everything that you see and everything that you have to offer. And so there's this constant being at the precipice of something awesome, but you can't get it over the line. And the Five of Pentacles means to me that you are, it sends you into a doubt of your gifts, or you feeling like you have nothing to contribute to the world, because everything what you feel that could be your gift to contribute, people don't appreciate or don't embrace. The Justice card, is telling me though that you will feel, find your counterpart. You will find counterparts to work with you, but your only validation of your gifts, really, the sustainable one, be the one between you, yourself, and the divine. And that's it. Which can be a frustrating place to be. Like, there's a lot of this energy floating through your whole reading, actually. There's a like an exasperation, a frustration. And there's also this how to change that aspiration and frustration into something that you can alchemize into balanced action. And that mainly comes from your acknowledgement and acceptance of this, of the Wheel of Fortune, and your ability to spin with the Wheel of Fortune. And I'm getting here in your soul's purpose, like this caretaker, this is a super important role, and you may end up having to do it pretty much alone. And that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm not going to find an accountant or a logo designer, or it's not about that. It's like you will have to lead the vision because you are the visionary. You are the person who the vision has been given to. And it should not make you feel like this. It happens. You may feel like that from time to time, but feel like this. And be in circles where there's other people who feel like this from time to time, but hopefully not all at the same time, so that you can help pull each other out when need be, right? Okay, so I just shuffled one of your final oracles. This is the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And you got card number 8, the Path. Waxing Crescent 6 is the moon phase in here. I'm just going to read directly from the guidebook. Waxing Crescent 6, the path. The way is open for you. The path is illuminated. Begin the journey now. Respond and take action. We must be courageous and move forward. The affirmation is, I am open and responsive to the opening of the way. When we accept where we are, acknowledge what needs to change, to grow, and begin to love ourselves more completely, the direction of our lives begins to change. We often decide we want to follow a more authentic way for ourselves, and our desires become more aligned with the needs, wants, and values of our true selves. Imagine we are lost in a dark forest and can hardly see. There is no visible path, and every way looks exactly the same. We feel burdened by shadows and are not sure we should even move because we are so paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. Then the sunshine somehow breaks through the clouds and a leaf canopy, and there ahead is a path illuminated in golden light. It is clear now the direction we should head. The path is not only visible, but it is inviting us forward. And so, instead of just standing there, we can't wait to step on it and move forward. The path is lit, and now it is time to walk upon it. The companion stone or metal is pyrite. Yes. So as I said, when I pulled the first 5 cards, it was already clear to you what gift they were talking about. So, this card is basically saying, those of you watching this, you know exactly what path you want to go down and what path you are meant to go down. It's just you may be hesitant of doing it alone, and they want you to know you're not. And we have 3 cards from the messages of the... Ooh. They want 6. You have 6 cards. Messages from the guides. So apparently you need a lot of encouragement, Taurus North Node, and I am happy to provide it, or they are happy to provide it, and I'm happy to facilitate that connection. This is Messages from the Guides by James Von Prague. 6 cards with there's some final messages. So thoughts create your reality. Know your truth. Well, we talked about that. Death is an illusion. Don't be afraid of losing anything. I don't think we talked about that, but yeah. Ask for guidance. Kindness counts. And abundance is your right. So I won't interpret those. I'm just going to let that resonate with you however it feels right. So that is it for you, or for your reading. Taurus North Node, I wish you all the best. If you so feel inclined, you can check out Grounding into Gaia. That's my new monthly series, with a channeled message from our wonderful Mother Earth, and a pick a card reading. Other than that, I will be back next month with your North Node update. And until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.